appears on your timeline. Spreading love, feeling so divine. Tune in, don't miss a single drop. Unwrap joy till the beat stops.
What's up, Team No T, and welcome back to the intersection between pop culture and common sense. I'm your girl Tasha, and today we're going to be doing something different. This is the start of a 12-day series of me sharing with you some Black Christmas sitcom episodes that I think that you might find intriguing for the Christmas season. We're going to do this with a little twist. I'm not going to just talk about the episode. I am going to be looking for 6 things as we are watching these episodes, and we're going to see how many times these 6 themes show up in each of these episodes. And these are the themes that I'm talking about. The first thing we're going to be looking for as an elf on the shelf in our Christmas episodes is number 1, holes in this house. How many times are we going to hear people make jokes about the term ho, ho, ho? If we get it in the episode, we get a point. If we don't get the point. Number 2 is the Black Christmas song Trinity. What y'all mean you don't know what the Trinity is? Number 1 song in the Black Christmas song Trinity is This Christmas. The number 2 song in the Black Christmas song Trinity is Let It Snow, Boys to Men. And number 3, y'all got to know that the 3rd song in the Trinity is Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. So if we get any one of those songs, we get a point, and we get to 3 points. I don't think I've met an episode that got all 3 of these songs in it, but I mean, it has to like triple the points value if we get all 3 of these songs, right? The number 3 thing that we are looking for in these episodes is either a Black Santa or a Black Angel. Because y'all know we do the most. We on our top of our tree is not a star usually, and it's not a white angel. It is a Black angel, unless we're going for the more recent trends of putting the Grinch or somebody on our tree. Number 4, a thing that I'm going to be looking for is the fashion of the era. What did that fashion mean to me? And where does it fall on the spectrum of Tasha would have rocked that or Tasha would not? Number 5, what is Christmas if you don't get a surprise guest? So a lot of these sitcom episodes will roll out a surprise and you didn't know this person was coming. It can be a surprise celebrity. It can be a surprise in the life of one of the characters on the show. We're looking for a surprise guest. And number 6, at a Black Christmas, there is usually, not always, but most of the time, just a random white person out in the background. And I'm not talking about a white person who is part of the regular cast. We're talking about somebody that we ain't never seen before, and they somehow come and crash this Christmas. So those are the 6 things we're looking for. Our first episode that we're going to be getting into is Girlfriends Season 2, Episode 11. It's called You Better Watch Out. Now, Season 2 of Girlfriends debuted on September 10th, 2001. That's right. One day later, the United States will have suffered the largest loss of life through a terrorist act in 9/11. But Season 2 of Girlfriends kind of gave us something to kind of center around and take our mind off of the unease and unrest in the United States at the time. You know, there was nothing that was going to make us forget that this thing had happened in our country, but it is one of the things that kind of gave us a little solace that we could still laugh. And Season 2, Episode 11 was just that. It was something that we could find amusing, even though, man, the topics, the subject matter was off the chain. Because in Season 2, Episode 11, we know that Maya is married to Darnell. And Darnell, her husband, he's not liking her friends too much because they're all single. She's the only married one in the group. And usually people will feel like, if you hang around with a bunch of single people, you're going to try to act single. He really didn't like Joan. Joan is played by Tracy Ellis Ross, and she is the uber professional, kind of upper middle class, more affluent member of the friend group. And they are attempting to kind of coexist in Maya's life. So in this episode, Joan was really worried. Why does Darnell not like her? She's doing everything in her power to get along with him. And this particular day, it seems like Darnell decided, I'm going to give Joan a chance. So he comes to talk to Joan and ask her, hey, Maya's been dropping hints about wanting a watch. So can you recommend to me what kind of watch I should get her? He told her what his budget was, which was $100. And she, of course, because she's a bit bougie, she don't know where you can get a $100 watch. So she told him to try the softer side of Sears. Now, in trying out Sears, he did find a watch. And he brought that watch to Maya, only to find out that Maya already has a watch. Now, where did Maya get this watch? Quietly, Maya has been tiptoeing around her husband's back with a man named Stan. And Stan and Maya had not been involved in a physical relationship. It's kind of like the whole work wife, work husband situation. But Stan kind of crossed a line by giving Maya a very expensive watch. The watch cost $1,500. That's a big gift to give somebody that you are not romantically involved with. And you could tell that at this point, this is where he's trying to push the relationship to go. Even though Maya's trying to play stupid, she's trying to act like she don't understand what this high price gift means. And she's still saying, hey, we're just friends. I don't know why he brought me this really expensive watch. But in exchange for the watch, for Christmas, she gave him some cookies. And not those cookies, but I know where your mind went, because that's the cookies that you would be expecting for a $1,500 watch. Now, once Joan finds out about this watch, she finds out at work, because she and Tony work in the same office building, even though they are on different levels financially and professionally. Joan tells Maya, hey, you got to get that watch back to Stan, because that watch, it's got some strings attached to it. So Maya says, you know what? You're right. I'm going to give the watch back. Even though I really wanted a watch, I'm going to give this watch back because, yes, it does. It's got the stench of I want more from you than you are able to give. And she also explained that you probably need to cut this relationship with Stan short, because your husband just came up here looking for you and I covered for you. And I should not have covered for you. So Maya's all, thank you for covering for me. And I'm going to give the watch back. So later on that day, oh, we'll get back to that. Later on, there is the office Christmas party. So at the office Christmas party, Joan notices that Maya is still swinging his watch around, showing everybody, yeah, you know how you do when you got something new. You try to make sure people see it. It's just like when a woman gets her nails done, she starts tapping her nails on everything, or looking at them, or exaggerating with her fingers because she wants you to notice that beautiful manicure. Well, that's how Maya was doing with that watch. She was swinging it around and trying to make sure people could see it. And Joan noticed, you still got this effing watch. You need to give that watch back to Stan. Just like that, Stan pops up at the Christmas party. I bet you think he's the surprise guest. Nope, he's not the surprise guest. But he pops up at the Christmas party. And Maya says, I'm going to give this watch back to you. I cannot take this watch. This watch is too expensive. Stan said, well, if you don't want the watch, give it to somebody else, because it's a gift. This is not just a gift, meaning, I want more from you as far as a relationship. It's a thank you gift. Stan is full of shit. You know what that gift means, Maya. And you know what it meant too. He leaves the party, And shortly, and I mean very shortly, after he walks out the door, Darnell, Maya's husband, who just went to the softer side of Sears to get Maya a watch that costs $100, he walks in to the party. Surprise! That's our surprise guest. So when he sees his wife, he, of course, notices the watch. So he asks her where she get this watch from. And you know what she told him? She told him Joan bought the watch. So now Joan, who he just told that he was going to get a watch for his wife, looks like she is trying to upstage him. So they have a confrontation at the Christmas party. It was really a one sided confrontation because Darnell went in on Joan, telling her that she shouldn't have bought that watch, asking her, "Do you want my wife?" All of the questions that a lot of men would ask if I just told your ass I was buying my wife a watch, and then you go out and buy one more expensive than the one that I was going to buy. So now Joan does not want to, she don't want to out her friend. So she just stands there dumbfounded. And then later on, Maya comes to the girlfriend's Christmas swap and says, Darnell don't want me to hang out with y'all no more. No shit. I wouldn't want you to hang out with them anymore either, because it's exactly what I said at the top. You hang out with a bunch of single women, and they might be trying to make you single too because they're jealous of what you got. But that wasn't the case this time, right? We know that Joan does not want Maya and Darnell to break up. She wants them together. Anywho, how this story ends up getting rectified is Joan goes out. She buys a computer for Darnell. Her and the other girlfriends show up on Christmas Day to Maya's house, and they tell Darnell another lie to cover for Maya, simply because they don't want to be without their friend. They love her and they want her around, and especially because this was a huge misunderstanding, they don't want to lose her because of this, right? So, anywho, she gives Darnell the computer and says that Maya had bought a scratch off. She won X amount of dollars, and she bought him a computer for Christmas and then used what was left to buy the watch. But she didn't want to tell him because it would have spoiled his Christmas surprise. So now you got Darnell apologizing to Joan, which he should, because she did absolutely nothing wrong up until that point, right? Well, except for she did cover for Maya going out to eat with Stan. But anywho, he apologizes to Joan, and then he apologizes to his wife. And you would think, woo, boy, that was a close one. You would think that Maya would say, I got way too much to lose. I got a husband, I got a child, I got my friend group. What did this heifer do? While they inside the house celebrating Christmas, she takes her ass outside on the balcony and calls Stan. Oh, Merry Christmas. So you're telling me that this person who was only a friend who means nothing to you was enough for you to sneak out of the house to call him? And the fact that Joan and the other girlfriends have covered for Maya emboldens her. And she gets bolder and bolder as the season goes on. But that is the way this episode ends. I'm going to tell you where our points are. Immediately, right out the gates, we got our ho, ho, ho. We got it twice. William comes in and he's what? Number two, dressed as Black Santa. So he comes in, he says the ho, ho, ho greeting, and then he makes the ho 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 joke. So we got ho 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 twice. We got a Black Santa right it's like right in the beginning of the episode with William. We got some random white people at the Christmas party. They might not be random because they work there. I'm calling them random. So we got the random white people, and we also saw a black angel in this episode. Now, have you seen this episode of Girlfriends? If you did, what did you think about it in terms of a Christmas episode? Tell you why I like this kind of Christmas episode. It's not beating us over the head with Christmas without giving us some movement in what's going on in the series. The series plot continues to move on, and we got a bit of festivity in the mix in how our girlfriends and the men in their lives celebrate Christmas. So, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Make sure you have subscribed, turn your notifications on, do all that stuff. Make all the bells and whistles go for Christmas, just for Christmas. And yeah, tomorrow we will be back with our second day of Christmas, and I cannot wait to share with you what I watched. With all that being said, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Tasha Pierce on your timeline, spreading love, feeling so divine. Tune in, don't miss a